Okay, this is the first part of the Chapter 5 review. It says what statement is expressed as a unit rate. Remember, unit rates are always over 1. So A is over 2, B is over 3. C is going to be 15 over 1, which is correct. So the answer will be C. Number 2, which statement is expressed as a unit rate? Again, unit rates are always out of 1. And if you look at it, this is 7 hours of work for $63, 75 to 3, 8 to 2. And the last one is 15 in each bag. So that's going to be 15 over 1. And that's going to be our answer. Make sure my pen is set up here. Awesome and perfect. All right. Number 3, a truck driver travels 495 miles in 9 hours. What is the driver's speed in miles per hour? Again, dirt pyramid here. So we have distance divided by, sorry that this is sideways. We have rate and we have time. We have 495 for our distance divided by 9 hours is going to give us our rate or our miles per hour. So you take 495, divide that by 9. 9 goes into 49 5 times. You get 45 left over. So his rate would be 55 miles per hour. Ricardo started working at a company 3.2 years ago. He earns $55,000 per year. How much has Ricardo earned since he started working for the company? So you've got 55,000, and we're multiplying that by 3.2 years because that's how much or that's how many years he works. So you get 3.2 years, and he makes $55,000 for each one. So we multiply that by the 0.2, we get 0, 0, 0. 5 times 2 is 0, carry our 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Place marker. Then we have 3 zeros. 3 times 5 is 15, carry our 1. 15 plus 1 is 16. Add it all up. 0, 0, 0, 0, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6 with 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. But we got to remember, swoop our decimal 1 time. So our answer would be 176,000. And if you look back at it, you say 3 times 55 is going to be 100. Well, it's going to be right around 150 or 160. So you know that that's going to be around the right answer. Always estimate a little bit in your head first. All right, number 5. Amy can read 24 pages in 40 minutes. How many pages per hour can Amy read? So we have 24 pages in 40 minutes. And we want to know how many pages in an hour, which is 60 minutes. Now, when you look at this, you say that's not going to work. So I would come over here and I would reduce this down, or I would simplify it. I would probably divide both by 4 just because it's the easiest. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. And 40 divided by 4 is going to be 10. And if you look at that, that goes nicely into 60 minutes. So 10 times 6 equals 60. So whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. And we get 36 pages per 60 minutes, or 36 pages would be our answer. Number 6. Jane can address 2.5 party invitations per minute. At this rate, how many invitations can she address in a third of an hour? Okay, well, we have 2.5 invitations for every 1 minute. That equals, and we're trying to figure out how much a third of an hour is. Well, 1/3 of 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour. We can cross cancel here. You end up with 20, which is 20 over 1, or just 20 minutes. So we know this is 20 minutes. Well, whatever you do to 1 goes into 20, 20 times. 2.5 times 20 is going to be, I get 50, but let's just do it off to the side to make sure. Actually, I would do it this way. I have my 0, 0, 1, and swoop our decimal over 1, so it is 50. 50 invitations in 20 minutes. So 50 is our answer. Number 7, Mario is using a payphone. The phone costs 50 cents for the first 3 minutes and 10 cents for each additional minute. How much does it cost if Mario uses it for 21 minutes? Okay, first of all, we got the first 3 minutes. So minutes 1 through 3 are going to equal 50 cents. But then we have minutes 4 through 21. Now, this sometimes gets confusing if you don't use a chart. But one way to do this is to say, okay, I have 21 total minutes, and I've already used 3. So I minus 3. That means that I have 18 minutes for that section. So that means that those 18 minutes are going to each be 10 cents. So that's going to be $1.80. And then to get our total, we'd add them together, and we get $2.30. Number 8, compare the prices of stocks below. Which stocks cost the most per share? So we have 4, and it costs $16.40. So you would have to take each one of these numbers over here, the price, and divide it by the number of shares. I'm going to pause it just to save on time and do that right now. So I divided each one of them by the number of shares, and we come up with A being the most expensive, which comes out to be $4.10 per share. So the answer to that one would be A. Number 9, Arnold takes 12 minutes to swim 10 lengths of the pool, whose length is 50 meters. If he swims at a constant rate or a constant speed, how long does it take Arnold to swim 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Okay. You got to work backwards on this one. We know that we're trying to get 1,000. And we also know that we have 50 meters per lap. So we know that there are 20 lengths. That's how many lengths, I shouldn't have circled that. That's how many lengths you would have to swim to go 1 kilometer. Okay, but now we come back to here. It says 12 minutes to swim 10 lengths. So we have 12 minutes, 10 lengths, and we're trying to get to 20 lengths. So that means we would multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2, and we get 24 minutes. And our answer is 24 minutes. Number 10, Jen gets paid $14 per hour. She earns $84 per shift that she works. If she gets a raise of $3 per hour, how much more will she earn per shift? Well, we don't know how much or how many hours she works per shift to start. So we have $14 per hour, and she earns $84 per shift. So you got to figure out how many times or how many hours she works first. So we would take $84 and we would divide it by $14 per hour. And that comes out to be 6. So we know that she works 6 hours. Now, how much more will she earn per shift? Well, if she's making an additional $3 per hour, how much more will she earn per shift? Well, you got to times that by 3, and we get $18 more. And if they asked how much does she earn per shift, you would take that 18 and add it to the 84, but they do not. Number 11, Daryl downloads 4 albums for $12 and 6 albums for $17. What is the average price? Okay, just like average speed, it's going to be total cost over total albums. So we have $12 plus $17 is going to be the total amount or total spent for each one. Then we have 4 and 6, so we get 4 plus 6. So this comes out to be 29 over 10. And they want to know how much per album. Well, you would have to divide by 10 because we're trying to get it to 1, and you get $2.90. It doesn't seem correct to me, so I'm going to go back and look at this one. And that's where I made my mistake. I even said total over total. Well, it's, so if we go back, we have 4 albums for $12. That means it's $48 for those plus 17 times 6. We get 102. And that's going to be over 10 total. So we get, still making a mistake here. Hold on a second. No, I didn't. We get $150 for the total spent on the albums over 10, which comes out to be $15 average per album or per CD. Which statement can be expressed as a unit rate? You didn't have to do. Which statement can be, didn't have to do that one. A baker can bake 8 loaves of bread using 48 cups of flour. How many cups of flour does she use for each loaf? So we're trying to get loaves by themselves, and we have 48 cups. Trying to get that to 1 loaf. So we would divide by 8. Divide by 8. You get 6 cups per loaf, or just 6 cups. Suzanne can put up 20 feet of fencing in 64 minutes. How many minutes will it take her to put up 35 feet of fencing? So we have 20 feet in 64 minutes. That equals how much in 35 minutes. Now I look at this and I say, uh-oh, I messed up again. 35 feet. 20 doesn't go in nicely. I'd always reduce. This comes down to 10 over 32, which I'd probably reduce again down to 5/16. 5 feet for every 16 minutes equals 35 feet in how many minutes? Well, times by 7. Whatever we do to the top, we have to do to the bottom, times by 7. So we get 16 times 7, 112 minutes. And that's correct. I'm going to have to stop the video right here because I'm getting close to my 15-minute mark, and YouTube only lets me upload 15 minutes at a time. So have a good one, guys. Hope this helps. Video B will be the second half of the homework assignment.